very good afternoon and a warm welcome to Minehead, where we are providing you the Stage 2 coverage and the Round 2 coverage of the Players' Championship Finals in 2023. And two of the protagonists of this darting year are on the stage to open the action for the 9 games we're bringing you over the course of the next few hours. The Bullet Stephen Bunting, semi-finalist at the Grand Slam, takes on Gian van Veen, who's going to play here on the main stage regardless tomorrow. But will he be playing more than once? He's going to play in the World Youth Final against Luke Littler. But can he get past Bunting to put himself in the third round here today in Minehead? Let's find out. Chris Murphy providing commentary in the company of a man, of course, who had his most famous day in this very tournament, former Players' Champion Paul Nicholson.
Good afternoon, Murph, and to everybody tuning in. Thanks for your company. A chilly Saturday here in the southwest of England. It's a little bit warmer in Reds Bar, thankfully, and you've got a legend on the mic.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, Stephen, the throw first. Game on!
I am, of course, referencing legendary referee Russ Bray, who will take charge of this one. And the winner of this last 32 contest here at Minehead will take on either Gerwin Price, the number 1 seed, or Kim Huybrecht, who had an astonishing comeback win yesterday against Martin Schindler. We saw all of that on this stage yesterday. What are we going to see today?
Yep, it is a big day of darts here in Minehead. And we'll see some big darts from the pair of them, but we'll have the
100.
second and third rounds today. Winner of this one takes on either Gerwin Price or Kim Huybrecht, that top section of the draw. Same section
95
as Ross Smith and Michael van Gerwen as well. So whoever comes through this quarter is going to deserve it, that's for sure. Matt Campbell and Mario van der Behade make up this quarter of the draw.
We are going to see Matt Campbell playing against Mario in our third game of the afternoon. Sandwiched between
100.
this game and that one, we have a small matter of local boy Ryan Searle up against Ricardo Pietreczko. So I hope Ricardo is ready to be thrown to the wolves in game 2.
Bunting probably amongst the best performers on this stage yesterday. He averaged 97.98 in a 6-4 win against Mickey Manson, who did give him a workout in that match.
Stephen, require 100.
Never really in massive trouble though, was he? He was able to fend Mickey off quite simply in the end. But I think that's what a lot of people would like from round 1. A game where they were in charge but were given a workout. Now Van Veen, 156, and we all know there's only one route for it. And he's not going to find it.
59.
Still best of 11 in this round, whereas a little bit later, things will go a little bit longer as it goes to best of 19. Double 8 for Stephen.
31.
With an early chance for Van Veen to nick a leg away from the Englishman.
97.
Treble 19 is the first port of call here. Could go double 19. That was the intention. Would have left him tops.
Stephen, you require 16. Game shot.
Lovely dart from Stephen. First to 6, as you all know.
Game on.
But you'd have to ask the players as to whether they're happy with playing this early.
86.
To be honest with you, Murph, I think this is a great draw for these people because they get maximum time to get ready for later on if they win. I think if you're playing last in the schedule, like Johnny Clayton is, and like James Wade is on this board here today, you have minimal time between games, and sometimes that's not a good thing.
Gian van Veen yesterday, well, he beat a fellow Dutchman in Chris Landman. On paper, I thought it was a difficult draw, but he made light work of Landman. 161, a very similar standard of performance to that produced by Stephen Bunting. In fact, 96.64 was the final average.
46.
There were only 2 players in the tournament that actually averaged 3 figures on day 1. One of them was actually on this board. Niels Zonneveld.
He did play really well towards the end, didn't he?
And the other is a player that's playing really well towards the end of this year, James Wade. Over on the main stage, but we'll have him on this stage
61.
this afternoon. Match 9 of our coverage.
And this is a tournament that Bunting hasn't won before. Neither has Wade. But Stephen's got a 2-0 lead against the dangerous Van Veen. He wasn't even going to take that shot out that he left because he was on a bogey number had Bunting missed tops and tens, but he didn't. Stephen is imposing himself once again like he did against Mansell yesterday.
43.
Which of the fixtures from round 2 really stick out to you, Murph? What really tantalises your taste buds, no matter what the board?
Over on the main stage, I like
99.
Chisnell Doby. Ross Smith against Michael van Gerwen. That's an interesting one. Something about Gerwin Price and Kim Huybrechts just gets you all sort of worked up, doesn't it? But here on this stage, I have to say, I don't want us to peak too soon here with our coverage, but this was the one that I fancied the most.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have admitted that too.
96.
You do have some very close seeded type matches, and what I mean by that is Bunting is the number 16 seed here, Van Veen is number 17. Look down our fixtures for today. You've got Joyce against Cullen, and it's actually Joyce who's the higher seed.
Yeah, and as people might think, well, that's how it should go. Well, not necessarily in this tournament, because it's not the same as the world rankings. Stephen Bunting here. Look for another one of those. That is a fantastic dart. And that is an incredible finish from Stephen Bunting. When you consider that Gian van Veen had just hit a 171 to get himself down to a finish, Stephen Bunting produces the 138 for a 3-0 lead. And we were talking about 3-figure averages. Well, he might be producing one here. This is superb, Stephen Bunting.
This is better than superb. He's getting better as this game goes on. He's treating Van Veen like a baseball. He's got that baseball in his left hand, but in his right hand, he's got a bat.
60.
He throws the ball in the air, and at the minute, he's just flapping at that ball, and it's sailing over the fence. That's how well he's playing.
Last 2 darts perfectly pitched by the Bullet, who's averaging now north of 107 following those 2 ton toppers to finish off the last 2 legs.
You know that Van Veen's had a good season. He hasn't won a senior PDC title, could still win a title here this weekend. Could still come back into this game, but he's going to have to find something really hot. But remember what he did to Damon Hedder on the European Tour? He averaged 114, winning 6-0 against one of the best players of the year. Sometimes when you do that to somebody, you have to know how it feels against you. And at the minute, Bunting is doing it to Gian van Veen.
Not going to add a third 3-figure out on the spin here, Stephen Bunting.
37.
If he wins a couple of games here, he'll start to move up the world rankings, and that might be a good thing. We'll come on to that in a moment, because
95.
the World Championship is around the corner.
Stephen, you
And seedings are very
24.
important.
Double 12 again.
Game shot.
There you go. It's 4-0 to Bunting, who is currently
Good leg, Stephen,
projected
to throw first.
to be the 20th seed at the World Darts Championship at Alexandra Palace. But the way he's playing here this weekend, that is probably going to change.
Yeah, and if he is the 20th seed, he'll be in a section of the draw, a quarter of the draw, that features Luke Humphries, Joe Cullen, Gerwin Price, Damon Hedder and Gary Anderson. At the moment, they're only worrying about him. Gian van Veen matches the maximum. And Bunting Make it 3 in a row in this leg. What's going on?
Oh.
We're all getting our hopes up for Stephen, but now we pin our hopes on Van Veen. The hope is gone. No matter what Gian finds in this game, it seems like Stephen's got the answer. It's as if Stephen's in the mastermind chair. He says, my specialised subject is how to beat Gian Van Veen on a Saturday.
He's playing so well at the moment. I mentioned that if he wins a few games, he could move out of that section of the World Championship draw, which is favourable. But if he plays like this, he's not going to care what section he's in, who he's playing.
Stephen,
The Words of the Rock, it really doesn't matter how he plays.
And if he plays like this, he may well go there as the Players' Champion. This is a real Bunting battering, being dished out to the Dutchman. Gian Van Veen like a rabbit in the headlights. And Stephen Bunting is absolutely flying.
You know how yesterday we said that there were a couple of games where the average difference was about 20 points? It's happening again, but it's purely because Stephen is stratospheric.
110, the average for Stephen Bunting. He's been playing, and he's been saying he's been playing, the best darts of his career.
That's a big statement considering how long he's been around. He was a County A player for Merseyside in the late 90s. Just process that for a second. 15 years before he was Lakeside champion in 2014. As a child, he was a County A player with some of the Merseyside greats. But he has outlasted every single one of them. That's how great this player is. He's only got one more job to do, and that's to finish the job off. You can't be sympathetic to your opponent when you're 5-0 up. You get the match start, you take it, you run, you rest, you get ready for the next round. That's what this tournament is all about now.
100.
Talking about the best darts he's ever played, well, the best average he's ever produced is 113.27. That was on the floor. In terms of doing it on the TV, he was actually here at the Players' Championship Finals some 4 years ago, 107 for Stephen Bunting.
The problem for Stephen is that he's having one bad leg in this contest, and his average has actually gone down by 5 points, but it's still 105.
Well, Van Veen has got the capability of doing for the next 6 legs what Stephen Bunting's done for the first 5, so let's not give this match to Bunting just yet. It's a long way back for Van Veen, but if anybody can, he can. 80 taken out in 2, and Van Veen will not be whitewashed.
7th leg, Stephen to throw first.
First mission accomplished for the Dutchman. Don't lose to 0.
134.
Next mission, very simple. Don't lose to 1. Chip away.
Decent darts for him. He can go above. He's a bit of a stacker. He's Van Veen. Always difficult to tell. The sort of standard camera angle comes from below the board, so the darts aren't actually as flat as they look for Van Veen. They'll be dangling towards the floor a little bit, so he doesn't want to miss above the treble 20. That should be leaving with enough space because it's over to the right a little bit, but you can see how it hampered him.
One of the reasons why Van Veen is such a gifted darter is because the dart does a dance in his hands before it's even thrown. Look at the amount of twisting that's going on before the dart leaves his hand. There's a twist, and it twists on the way back as well. That just goes to show how much control he's got of that dart before he throws it. But he hasn't got control of this game.
No, not at all. Stephen Bunting's had that from the off. And this could be the end.
Game, shot.
Brilliant by Bunting. That is an electrifying performance and a stunning start to the Stage 2 action this afternoon. The bullet was on fire against a very accomplished opponent, a tricky player to navigate, but Bunting didn't let him in it, afforded him just one leg when he had a leg off really for himself. The average in the end, 105.66, the best we've seen in the tournament so far. 60% on the finishing, 2 3-figure outs, including that fabulous 138. And Stephen Bunting is carrying on where he left off at the Grand Slam, playing the darts of his life. It could be the weekend of his life. Bunting beats Veen 6-1. Do stay with us here on stage 2. The action resumes very, very shortly indeed with Ryan Searle against Ricardo Pietrezco.